Yes, hello. I missed you too. I've been in Louisiana for the past 12 days.
How was that?
I'm more gumbo than man at this point.
Yay.
Half gumbo, half man. How's the vaccination situation down there? Not so good. I'm
25%. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's not going well at all, and it's slowed to almost no one else getting it.
Oh,
but
boy.
they lifted while I was here, they lifted the mask mandate. So it's all good.
I take it you're vaccinated before you traveled, yes?
Of course, and yes, and everyone in my family is vaccinated that can get vaccinated.
Thank you.
So that's the only reason I came down.
Well, you retweeted the New York Times headline, "Vaccine Mistrust is Tearing Apart Friends, Families, and Congregations in Communities that are Overwhelmingly White, Republican, and Christian, like Greenville, Tennessee. It's a muddy mess," said a local healthcare worker. And you just said, build a wall around places like this. Rude, I can't begin to tell you, the CDC is warning states to remove COVID vaccine templates as pro-Trump forums are spreading tips on how to forge the document. So once again, they're just trying to figure out how to cheat, not to actually be good, responsible citizens and keep themselves and everyone else safe, right? It's infuriating.
Yeah, and there is one thing that friggin' ex-president could do that would, that would help all of this, and that would be for him to come out and start telling people, get your vaccine. I got vaccinated, you should get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Of course, then they'd probably say this is some kind.
He has done that, Rude, but you can tell when he doesn't mean it. He does. It's like when he was forced to do apologies. It's like he's reading a third grade book report, which you can tell he doesn't. It's like, you should do it, yeah.
Well, because he always follows that up with, but people should do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. With
I'm so for Dr. Redlener, our very own Dr. Doom tweeted, "I'm so for this, Rude." He said, "We need a national vaccine verification system to determine who can and can't be in public and indoor gatherings, travel, etc. If the feds don't do this, states, industries, and fraudsters will step into the vacuum and we'll have chaos." I agree. I don't even think it should be a question about Biden ordering the troops to be vaccinated. Are you kidding me? Like, they're in close quarters. They're going all over the world. This should not be a question, right?
No, it shouldn't. And it's the stupidest thing. I mean, there are a lot of stupid things that we have seen in our lifetimes. This may be it. This may be the peak stupidity of this is an easy, free thing you can do to make sure you don't get a disease that can kill or give you long-term effects, and or you can avoid being part of the mutating process of the disease.
Yeah.
New York has an app where it's called your Excelsior Pass. So where you can it shows that you've been vaccinated.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just it's so emblematic of what this whole party has become, is they're just trying to figure out how can they cheat rather than letting people vote. Let's not even get into Arizona. Somebody was saying this weekend, Rude, like that whole thing is just another rolling insurrection that we can't allow this to happen. What they're doing in Arizona, it's the same people behind the Capitol riots. They're in slow motion again, trying to overturn and subvert our democracy. Anyway, that story just reminds me, same thing. Instead of doing the right thing and getting vaccinated, let's figure out how to cheat and pretend we are and endanger even more people by pretending we're vaccinated, right?
Well, and then you had, Trump as late-aged lounge singer lumbering in front of the crowd. I guess he's in New Jersey now at Bedminster, talking about, how the election was stolen.
Oh, please, because you only hurt the ones you love. Please, let's inflict cut 15. We have sad, fat, orange Elvis for you. Here he is.
Let's see what they find. I wouldn't be surprised if they found thousands and thousands and thousands of votes. So we're going to watch that very closely. And after that, you'll watch Pennsylvania and you'll watch Georgia and you're going to watch Michigan and Wisconsin, and you're watching New Hampshire. They found a lot of votes up in New Hampshire just now. You saw that. because this was a rigged election. Everybody knows it, and we're going to be watching it very closely. But start off by, you just take a look. It's on closed circuit. I guess it's on all over the place.
Take a look.
Everyone's talking about yesterday, front page of the New York Times.
Okay, he's just the same act. That's the dinner show. Just
Yeah.
take a look. I
That
forgot
was
about
the
take a look. Take a
smallest-
look. We're watching very closely. We take a look. You take a look. Take a look. Take a
That
look.
sounded like the smallest crowd he's been in front of in a really
It's
long
just
time.
whoever
Like,
happens to be there that he subjects
Yeah.
to his weird
Yeah.
ramblings. Even then, you could see some of the faces are like, oh my God, really? This again?
I know,
Okay.
I know. He used to headline at Caesar's Palace, and now he
I
just
know.
does open mics on off-strip clubs.
Yes.
Yes.
Reminds me of
The
open
off-strip
mic
cocktail
at
lounge.
Yuck Yucks on Hurdle Avenue in
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Right.
Yep.
That's it's like, wow. Yes, but Thom Joseph said it. What's happening in Arizona is not a recount or an audit. It's election fraud. If it's allowed to continue, they will fabricate results and do it in more states. It's the same insurrection in motion again. It's a reminder that Trump should be locked up and silenced for his role awaiting trial. Thank you. It's, it's easy to laugh at it like cyber ninjas and blah, 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 Rude, but it is... Seth Abramson said the same thing. A reminder, election fraud's a crime. What's happening in Arizona is election fraud on a massive scale. As the article I just published confirms, there is a ring of individuals, some of the same ones behind January 6th, who conspired in this election fraud. I mean,
Yeah.
and I just...
And
yeah, go ahead.
it is, I think James Carville brought this up in an interview. Like, the fact that Democrats haven't successfully hung this around the Republicans' neck just constantly. I mean, if the parties were reversed on this,
Yeah.
you would never have another story about politics without this being the headline in it.
Yeah.
And it should be that every time that they bring up Republicans, it should be the people who supported the insurrection, the ones who were part of the insurrection, the ones who keep trying to overturn the election.
Yeah.
They should just be hammering that again and again and again. And until it becomes just the only way you can identify Republicans is to associate them with insurrection.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it just, I thought of that as like, we're sitting here laughing, but they really are. You know what they're going to do. They're going to fabricate results and then use that to go, now we do this in other states. And I mean, it really is insanity. But okay, I loved your open letter to Tucker Carlson, speaking of, COVID deniers, mask holes and COVIDiots. It was, and for you, I thought it was quite polite. You said, I don't watch your damn show because you're an obnoxious, privileged, powdered pair of ass cheeks whose face veers between serial killer who ejaculates while he stabs people to high school boy feeling a wet pussy for the first time. Mostly, though, I don't watch you because you are a liar. Well, I thought that was a nice way of opening.
Well, thank you. I always try to reach out and make friends first.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm thinking of somebody listening to this, like driving to work. Or bringing their kids back
This
to
is the
school.
not safe for work portion. You said you don't fool.
What word did they beep?
But you said you don't fool me. You've been vaccinated, mother. You paid goons to knock off old ladies so you could jump the line. You got that back in January. You made sure your family got it, and I know you. And you wear a mask anytime you go out, even though you're vaccinated. I mean, yeah, exactly. This has been Fox News. They're all doing their shows from home, isolated, right? And they're vaccinated.
And if you come in, you have to wear a mask until
That's
you're
right.
on air.
Yeah.
That's Fox News's policy in the building.
Yeah. You started most sentences in this with mother. I walk around New York City and we wear masks because we're going to be in crowds, and we wear masks because it's a sign of respect to those who haven't been vaccinated. And I'm not counting your dumbass viewers who refuse to get the shot. Thank you. It's just It's just a sign of respect. And also, you don't know who else isn't vaccinated, right? So that's, I was saying, I'm still wearing one hiking even after the 2 weeks because crowded is relative. Like you know what I mean? You can't necessarily control who gets within 6 feet of you and whatever. And that's a good point. In New York, I'm sure that's tough.
Oh yeah. And it's warm now. Warmer. Everybody's getting out. Right. I mean, it's back. It's very close to being back to regular New York City. All we need is Broadway. Yeah.
Anyway, you said you simpering little ratings whore. You toy of the lowest kind of vermin. You don't know people's lives. You've decided that liberals are the ones that force mass their children. This is a way to attack liberals and maybe even get them assaulted, arrested, and or harassed. So do it, mother. Make the phone call. Dial 911 on some mom at a playground. You won't. You won't because you know it's illegal to do that. You won't because you're the worst kind of bully, one who's too much of a to get his own hands dirty. I tell you to eat, but you are. Well, you were in a mood, Rude, but
Yeah, I was.
yes, I mean he's inciting violence against people, right? I mean it's just it's and what happens to freedom? And it's America. Really, I don't have the freedom to wear a mask if I want to in your America.
Or raise my kids the way that's their whole thing.
Right.
You should be allowed to raise your kids the way you want to. Don't tell me how to raise my children. And yet here he is saying if you have your kids wear a mask outside, you're abusing them. If you have them wear a mask on the playground where they're on playground equipment with tons of other kids, it's ridiculous. I mean, I know somebody who whose husband passed away because she was vaccinated. He wasn't fully vaccinated yet, and she didn't know that she had brought it home. And because they're not 100% sure on that. I don't want to say anything definitive, but they were both isolated, and that was one of the only ways he could have possibly gotten it. Yeah. So there are still so many unknowns out there. It's just ludicrous to say that any kind of cautious behavior is wrong.
Rude, two tweets just had me obsessed all weekend. One of them from a news reporter said, just spoke to maybe the top ICU doctor in Tampa Bay about which patients are still dying, 50 to 70 a day in Florida. And he said it's mostly 50-year-olds who are not vaccinated. People who are vaccinated don't die. Direct quote.
Yep.
And this one, anti-vax doctor in Kenya who touted Trump's quack cure hydroxychloroquine dies of COVID-19 2 weeks after declaring vaccines unnecessary. I mean, it's just, it is just so endlessly infuriating where we are right now, right? I mean,
that last one is hilarious.
Okay.
Come on.
Listen, let's focus on that. You said the CNN headline, people are ready to have sex again. Condom sales are surging. So, right, that's what happens when body starts slapping from doing the vaccine.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be that kind. It's going to be that kind of summer.
Vaccine.
All right, so let's look on the bright side, right?
Well,
yes.
as Stephanie says, she's vaxxed and waxed.
Right,
ready
vaxxed and ready to party.
That's
Here we go.
That's it. Same here.
Oh, you're waxed.
Oh, wow. Nice. Good. Oh, speaking of, before we go, I thought the exact same thing about Joe Manchin saying he's against DC statehood. You said, give the man credit for supporting the thing that would make this irrelevant. I swear to God, because he wouldn't have the kind of power. It wouldn't be like Prime Minister Joe Manchin anymore if we had more Democratic senators.
There was this fascinating editorial in a West Virginia newspaper by a West Virginia progressive Democrat who talked about how Manchin, when he was governor and when he was in the state, essentially ended up destroying the Democratic Party there because he didn't support progressive candidates. That there were elections where if he had thrown his support behind a progressive candidate, they would have defeated the Republican. But instead, at times, he threw his support behind either the much more conservative candidate, who then changed to Republican, or he just stayed out of it, or even sometimes supported the Republican. Yeah. So he is not. Everything he's doing is just to maintain his own electoral chances and his power. And there is no way he is getting reelected in 2024. That's what's absurd about this. West Virginia is too far gone. West Virginia is so conservative now, so much in Trump's back pocket, that it's going to take a generation to turn that around.
Yeah. Well, you look at that Mitt Romney scene and just go, wow, this is what happens to this party. He was their presidential candidate just a few years ago, and now he's a communist and a traitor. I mean, it's okay.
I really am tired of communism. The word communism is now the right wing's version of neoliberal. It's just one of those things that they're throwing around that they don't understand the definition of and don't care. Yeah. It just means I don't like you.
Yeah. It's the new C word. All right. Love you. Says
All right.
someone that's used the C word more than anyone I know. Good morning to you.
Oh, thank you.
Good
I
day,
try.
sir.
I
Good
do
day.
inspire me.
Good day. You get nothing. Goodbye.
You do it well, though.
No,
All right. Bye, Rude. Love you.